today. From Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
On the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. We get a peek at Tom Brady as he brings out this Tampa Bay offense. And Tom Brady in his 22nd season overall and his second in Tampa Bay.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Brady now on first down. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Ali Marpet, the guard, caught there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A shotgun give to Fournette. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 15 carries, 61 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Here's Brady to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's taken it around the 40. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Well, the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Allen gonna throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The partner, his offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this squad and the 1985 Bears. You know, they too were 12-0 at this juncture of the season before losing on a Monday night 38-24 to the Dolphins at the Orange Bowl way back on December 2nd of '85. But then they'd never lose again en route to winning Super Bowl 20.
And when you look back on it, partner, didn't it almost feel like a setup game? Because they were playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were protecting their franchise's undefeated season of 1972, that team. And you know what that team does. They love to celebrate the fact that they still are the only one to get through an entire NFL season that way. That was Dan Marino's 3rd year playing under the great Don Shula, and they were motivated to keep that franchise's record intact.
Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here's Devin Singletary. He played in this state at Florida Atlantic. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The numbers for him from a week ago. 8 carries, 62 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. To the air, Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sanders.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be Singletary. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease anywhere, put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Gabriel Davis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 9-play drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Meanwhile, Brady's throw on target to Godwin here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. Devin White, the Bucs' leading tackler in their Super Bowl run, in on this stop. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Well, that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Touchdown! Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football, as they've got it with second down and less than a yard. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. Second and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Second and 11. Now Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Throwing is Brady on third down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Matt Milano, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded just inside the 20. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Buffalo set to get the football back here. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year. But you think this game, their toughest test yet?
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Allen going to give it to Moss. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play action game. or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
On the option, they'll hand it to Moss. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a first carry for their fullback. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. So the shotgun snap to Allen. This ball complete to the tight end, Sweeney. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe, because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. From the gun, it's Allen. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd down and goal. Allen escaping the pressure right. And he is out of bounds here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Allen now looks to throw. The quick slant caught. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. It's the fullback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Now a throw here to his running back. Powering his breaks the tackle, now an alley. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there on the catch and run.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Brady. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brady targeting Godwin once more, this time complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And the Bucs are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Scotty Miller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Buccaneers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. Dancing to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
To throw again on second down. Allen, they'll run the screen with Moss. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Saints who were able to walk away with the road victory. Alvin Kamara, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Tim Patrick, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. Daniel Jones has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you're watching, it was Josh Allen who was on target in that first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. McKenzie now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. A run by Moss to start the third quarter. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 29, Allen looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Rolling to his right. And that is caught. It's Davis. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
49 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Now Brady. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That play was hard to see. One play goes wrong, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and very long, but they had been in 2nd and inches.
Yeah, I know you like the idea of taking a shot on 2nd and inches, but you can't take a sack for that big of a loss.
That's the one thing you cannot do. They gave it up, and now they're way behind the chains. Good luck with this next play call.
So Brady and the Bucs need to work a little magic. 3rd and long after that last sack. Blitz coming now for Brady. Fighting through pressure. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Gregory Rousseau racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So Brady departs, and on is Ryan Succop for the Buccaneer field goal. This from 54 yards away. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll run on 1st down with Moss. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Allen. And he's got his man here, Beasley. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sanders. 7 yards, the pickup there. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. Throwing again on second down. Allen forced out to his left. And Allen will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end. It'll be first and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. Throwing now is Allen. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
To throw again on second down. Brady. A pass underneath for Fournette.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On first down, Brady. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now Brady again. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. It'll be a gain of 5. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And some room to roam now. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there on 4th and inches. 4th and short, got a whole lot more than he bargained for. He almost scored.
Yeah, how about that? Because you know how it is when you get all those bodies near the line of scrimmage. You often get engaged by blockers, and you can't get your hands on the ball carrier. And he breaks free, and he goes almost the distance.
Now Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Bruce Arians taking exception to that last call, and he's going to throw out the challenge flag. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Now Brady got to have this one. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And the Bills are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start on the ground with Moss. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It was JPP that time, Jason Pierre-Paul, who got in there to blow that play up.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Allen. He'll swing this out to Moss. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 51 yards rushing for him now to this point. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run on first down. It's Moss. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead. You give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Buffalo, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.